Hi everybody, this is Saphirre, your favorite French Canadian. Today I'm going to show you a guide on how to boost your FPS on Ryzen. The game is running quite well. I'm not a huge fan of the FSR technology in it, so it's more like just run this game stock. I will explain you later why. So we're gonna start with optimizing Windows for gaming, and after that we will go inside of the game. So the first thing that you want to do is write game mode and make sure that you're running game mode. For the past year, game mode is pretty good when you're running any game, so really recommend to using it. Xbox Game Bar, I recommend to removing it, and also it was causing me issue. I was getting some random crash with it with this game, so super important to disable it. For the capture part of Windows, make sure that background recording is at off and recorded audio is at off. Another thing that I recommend, if you have an NVIDIA card, 1000 series or more recent, search for graphics setting and make sure that your hardware accelerated GPU scheduling is at on. You will need to restart your computer to make sure this one is applied. You can expect a nice 2 to 4% boost in your FPS. It helps with bottlenecks, but on low-end card like the 1050, 1060, 1050 Ti, 2060. So super important to use that. I also recommend to make sure that you have the latest driver of your video card. So if you have AMD, go on the website. NVIDIA, even Intel, if you're using the integrate GPU on their CPU, go on their website. They have dedicated driver. You can also use the super resolution or the NIS if you have an NVIDIA card. So I have a dedicated guide on this, but I can explain you quickly what it does. So for an example, I'm playing Ryzen at 2K. I downgrade the resolution at 1080p and I enable this. This will upscale it back at 2K and I can expect a nice 12 to 20% boost in my FPS. But depending on the game, sometimes the result is good for the visual quality, sometimes it's not. In this game, I don't recommend necessarily to do that. This is pretty much like last resort. If you're struggling a lot with your FPS, you can definitely do it. But if you don't struggle, just use it stock. I also recommend to look at your energy profile. So right energy, go to your power option. Make sure that you're running something like balance or high performance. Don't use power saver or battery mode and stuff like that. So super important to make sure that you maximize the resources on your computer. Another thing for people who are struggling with their RAM, so I'm gonna just stop it right now. So this is a cool software that you can use. This is the guy who created DDU. I'm gonna put the link on my video description. It's the Intelligence and Bias Cleaner. So you need to look at your total system memory here. For me, it's 32 gig. You divide by 2 and you put the number over there. It will help with people with 4 gig, 6 gig, 8 gig of RAM. If you're struggling with your RAM because you don't have a lot, this is a good software for you. So when you do that, you just press start and it will just make sure that it's clean always, your standby list cleaner. It will free your memory. You just lower the program like that, and it helps a lot with stuttering and on any game when you have an issue with your RAM. One more thing, I have dedicated guide on my channel about overclocking, so you can look at them. Overclocking your GPU, your CPU. They're pretty safe. I'm not touching any voltage, so I'm gonna show you like how to overclock quickly your component. You can expect a nice like 2% to 12% boost in your FPS depending on the component that you have and also the thermals. So now let's go inside of the game. So the first one is the resolution. Normally just play native. If you want to use the super resolution or the image scaler from NVIDIA, this is pretty much it. For example, me native, I'm in 2K. I'm gonna put the game at 1080p and my software will upscale it back at 2K. I'm not a huge fan of this in this game because first of all, the image quality decreases a lot in this game, and also I can run the game pretty easy stock without any FSR or super resolution. So that's why I'm not using it for this game. For the window mode, I really recommend to go exclusive full screen. It will help you to stabilize your FPS. I was getting some random drop with the full screen window, so not a huge fan. Make sure that you're using the exclusive one. This is the best to play this game. After that, the quality, you have 4 different quality here. The first one is the ambient inclusion. You have 3 bracket here. High to low, you can expect a nice 8% boost in your FPS. I'm playing at medium because I feel like the game is too flat at low. So if you feel that your game looks too flat and you don't like the visual, just put ambient occlusion at medium. You will lose 3% FPS, but it will be a lot better. For the bloom, I'm putting this one at low also. I don't like bloom in any game, so it's better for the visual quality. So that's why I'm using low. For shadow, this one will give you the most of FPS in this game. So high to low, you can expect a nice 12% boost in your FPS. If you're near from your objective and you just want to change one or two different parameters, start with shadow, put this one at low, test your game, and if your FPS are fine, don't touch anything else. After that, the volumetric quality, this one, if I compare high to low, you can expect a nice 10% boost with volumetric quality, so another huge improvement. The game can look a little bit flat also without the volumetric quality at low, so I recommend maybe to test medium, look at your FPS, and if it's fine, just go with medium ambient occlusion and medium volumetric quality. After that, the anti-aliasing. Not a huge fan of TAA and SMA in this game. I feel like the game is too blurry, so that's why I recommend to go with FXAA. So you will have an anti-aliasing, and your game will be a lot better for the visual. You will not have any like blurriness like the TAA one. And the FSR 1.0, if you want to use it, just use quality. Not a huge fan again of it. I hope they're gonna update the game and use the FSR 2.0. It's a lot better. It's almost on par with DLSS 2.3. So super important. Look at this. I'm pretty sure they're gonna do it in a couple of months, maybe a year, but it will help the game a lot. For vertical sync, I'm not using it. I have a FreeSync monitor, so if you have FreeSync G-Sync, you don't need vertical sync. If you don't have that and you have a lot of tearing when you're playing the game, activate it. It will add a little bit of input lag, but in this game, it's not really important. You will not necessarily see the difference. Motion blur and depth of field, uncheck this. It will be a lot better for your visual, the clarity of your game. High quality vegetation, I'm not using it. It's 3 to 4% boost in your FPS if you want to that you will lose if you're using it. So again, depending on what you need, do you want like more quality visual or you just want FPS? Low quality atmosphere, not a huge difference. When I'm using it, I feel like my game is a little bit more blurry, and also I didn't see any difference in my FPS, so that's why I just leave it at uncheck. For the blood effect enable, I'm using it. If you're getting random drop when you're seeing blood effect, that's probably because of it. So just like uncheck it. But honestly, even on my laptop with the GTX 1050, I didn't see like any issue with this. If you don't like the screen check when you're playing this game, by default it will be at 100%. I recommend to go with 0. It's a little bit better if it's making you dizzy or whatever. So just like removing it. And the clock quality and the clock update rate, make sure those ones are at medium. So this is pretty much it, guys, for the guide. If you have any question, just comment in the YouTube section. Post me your rig, CPU, GPU, and RAM. I will try to help you the best that I can. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Peace.